Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins History, where we explore the hidden treasures that might be sitting right inside your coin jar or tucked away in an old box. Today we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in United States history, the 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1947, a coin that millions of people have seen held and spent without realizing that some versions of it could be worth a fortune. This small copper coin carries not only great historical significance but also incredible collector appeal that has stood the test of time. So make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the number you are about to hear might just make you look at your spare change in a completely new way. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the longest running and most beloved coin designs in American history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it became the first circulating U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. The obverse design was created by Victor David Brenner, and his initials VDB can still be found on some versions of the coin. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced from 1909 to 1958, and during those years it became a symbol of honesty, hard work, and American pride. By 1947 the world had just emerged from the turmoil of World War II. The United States was experiencing a period of recovery and growth. Industries were booming, families were rebuilding their lives, and coins like the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny were part of daily transactions across the country. The coin itself is made primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, and while billions were produced, not all pennies are created equal. The true magic of this coin lies in the details, the condition, the mint mark, and sometimes the tiny imperfections that occurred during production. If you take a close look at the obverse of the 1947 penny, you'll see the famous profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head the word liberty shines proudly, and to the left is the familiar phrase, "I and God we trust." The date 1947 appears near the edge of the coin, and beneath it a small mint mark may appear, indicating where the coin was struck. The Philadelphia Mint coins carry no mint mark. The Denver Mint coins bear a D, while those from the San Francisco Mint display an S, and each of these mint marks can make a difference in the coin's rarity and value. Turning the coin over, the reverse side features two stylized wheat ears curving along the left and right sides, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Just above them you'll find the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. This simple yet powerful design represents both the nation's unity and the strength of its people, and over the years this wheat design has become one of the most recognizable and nostalgic in the entire history of U.S. coinage. Now let's talk about why the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny has captured so much attention among collectors. While most of these pennies were struck in huge quantities, making them fairly common in circulated condition, there are some extremely rare versions and varieties that are worth far more than their face value. Coins that were struck with minting errors or preserved in pristine condition can command astonishing prices at auctions. One of the most desirable varieties among the 1947 pennies are those that were struck with double dies. This type of error happens when the coin die shifts slightly during the minting process, causing certain letters or numbers to appear doubled on the coin. Collectors often look closely at the words Liberty or the date to identify this doubling, and if you find one with this rare error, you might just have a small treasure in your hands. Other errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or repunched mint marks also add significant value, since they represent unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that escape the mint's quality control. Process condition is another major factor that determines the coin's worth. Collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless coin. A 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny that has been in circulation for years and shows signs of wear might only be worth a few cents, but a coin that has remained untouched, sharp in detail, and full of its original red copper luster can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Uncirculated coins, especially those with bright red surfaces, are highly prized by serious collectors because they reflect the coin's original beauty as it looked the moment it left the mint. The 1947 penny is also special because it marks the post-war era, when the United States Mint had returned to using its regular copper alloy after the steel cent experiment of 1943. During the war, copper was diverted to support the military, so in 1943 the mint produced pennies made of zinc-coated steel, but by 1947 copper was back and the mint was once again creating the rich reddish-brown coins that Americans love today. That little change in metal composition adds historical depth, making each 1947 penny a small symbol of America's resilience and return to normalcy. Many collectors also seek complete sets of Lincoln Wheat pennies from every year and every mint mark between 1909 and 1958, and among those sets the coins from the 1940s are often among the most colorful and affordable entries. However, it's the rare high Great examples that command incredible attention at auctions. Coins graded MS67 or higher are extremely difficult to find, especially with full red color and flawless surfaces. These examples are often locked away in private collections or sold at premium prices whenever they appear on the market beyond its monetary worth. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds sentimental and historical value that resonates deeply with people across generations. It represents the legacy of one of America's greatest leaders, Abraham Lincoln, a man whose vision for unity, freedom, and equality still inspires the nation today. Holding a coin with his image is like holding a small piece of American history in your hand. So the next time you come across an old penny in your change jar, take a moment to look closer, especially if you see that 1947 date. Check for a mint mark, examine the condition, and look for any signs of minting errors. What might appear as just another penny could in fact be a rare collectible hiding in plain sight. And even if you find a common one, remember that every Lincoln Wheat penny carries a story from America's past, a story of endurance, progress, and pride. And now for the moment everyone has been waiting for. If you happen to find a 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny that is in perfect uncirculated condition with rich red luster, sharp details, and no visible marks, or better yet one that features a rare error or double die, then you might just be holding something truly extraordinary, because such a coin can reach an unbelievable value of $163,000. Yes, you heard that right, $163,000 for a single Lincoln Wheat penny from 1947. A coin that many people once spent without a second thought could now be worth more than a luxury car or even a small house. So before you let that little copper coin slip away, make sure to check its details, because one small penny could hold a lifetime of history and fortune. Today we are diving deep into the story of one of America's most iconic coins, the United States of America 1 cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1957, a coin that may seem ordinary but hides extraordinary potential value for collectors and enthusiasts alike. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story behind this incredible coin, because what seems like just another penny could actually be a small fortune in your pocket. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny belongs to one of the most beloved series in U.S. coinage history. Designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909, this coin was created to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the first U.S. coin to ever feature a real historical figure rather than symbolic designs. The wheat penny immediately captured the heart of Americans, with Lincoln's dignified portrait on the obverse and two simple stalks of wheat curving gracefully on the reverse, representing prosperity and unity. The coin stood as a proud reminder of the nation's values and strength even through tough times like the Great Depression and World War II. By the time 1957 came around, the Lincoln Wheat penny was nearing the end of its production era, as the U.S. Mint was preparing to introduce a new reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That means the 1957 wheat penny represents one of the final years of the classic wheat design, making it particularly nostalgic and collectible for those who admire historical American coinage. Minted in Philadelphia and Denver, the 1957 penny was struck in huge numbers, yet like all coins that appear ordinary, the secret lies in the details. The rarity and value of a 1957 penny depend heavily on its condition, mint mark, and any possible minting errors that set it apart from the rest. In the obverse side you'll see Abraham Lincoln's familiar and timeless profile facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1957, to the right below, which you might notice a small D mint mark indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint, while the absence of a mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. The reverse side is adorned with two elegant wheat ears curving inward, framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, with E pluribus unum resting proudly at the top. The simplicity of this design is what makes it so loved by collectors. Its balance and symmetry have stood the test of time, reminding everyone of the artistry that early coinage once carried. Now, what makes a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny so valuable in today's world of coin collecting is not merely its age or design, but its rarity in specific conditions. Most of these pennies were circulated widely across the United States and have suffered years of wear, losing their luster and sharp details. But if you find one that's still in mint state, with that original red copper shine almost glowing like it just left the mint decades ago, then you might be holding something truly special. Collectors prize these high-grade examples and will pay significant amounts for pieces that are nearly flawless. The redder and shinier the penny, the higher its value becomes. But the story doesn't stop there, because what makes coin hunting truly exciting is the possibility of discovering rare minting errors and variations among these coins. Some 1957 wheat pennies show signs of double die errors, particularly in the date or lettering, which happens when the die strikes the coin more than once but slightly misaligned. These double details may appear as faint shadows or extra lines on the inscriptions, and they can transform a simple 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Others may feature off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks, all of which add unique charm and scarcity to the coin story. The combination of these small minting quirks with high preservation can send the value of a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny soaring in the numismatic market. Let's imagine for a moment you stumble across an old jar of pennies hidden in your attic or left behind by a grandparent. You start sifting through them and you notice a bright copper coin that stands out from the rest. It reads 1957 and it's in surprisingly good shape, maybe even showing that original mint red sheen. Your heart starts racing and you start wondering, could this be one of those rare pieces worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Well, for the right coin in top grade condition, authenticated by professional grading services, the answer could absolutely be yes. The world of coin collecting rewards attention to detail, patience, and the thrill of discovery, and many have turned simple pocket change into life-changing finds. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny also holds sentimental value as it marks the end of an era for many collectors. It's the last full year of the beloved wheat reverse before it was replaced by the more modern Lincoln Memorial design. This transition makes 1957 pennies a symbolic farewell to an iconic design that defined the early 20th century in American coinage. The warm copper glow, the rustic wheat ears, and Lincoln's profile together create a timeless combination that speaks to history, patriotism, and craftsmanship. So if you ever come across one of these beautiful coins, take a close look under good lighting, inspect the date, the color, and any small variations that might make it stand out, because who knows, that simple coin you've been holding on to for nostalgia could be far more valuable than you think. Coin enthusiasts and professionals always advise checking for uncirculated condition coins and sending potential high-grade or error varieties for professional grading, because that authentication could make all the difference between a small keepsake and a serious collector's treasure. And now the most exciting part, the value revelation that every coin lover waits for. If you happen to own a United States of America 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1957 in pristine uncirculated condition with exceptional detail and luster, or even a rare minting error, you could be looking at an astonishing value of $103,000. That's right, this small humble penny from over half a century ago could be worth $103,000 today, making it one of the shining examples of how history and luck can come together to create something truly extraordinary. So keep hunting through your change and old collections, because your next great discovery might just be a tiny copper coin waiting to reveal its incredible story and unforgettable worth. Today we're diving deep into one of the oldest and most historically meaningful coins in U.S. history, the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1917. This little copper coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it carries with it over a century of history, craftsmanship, and the potential for extraordinary value. If you have one of these coins hiding in your collection or resting quietly in an old jar of change, it might be time to take a closer look, because this penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The story of the 1917 Lincoln wheat penny begins in an era when America was experiencing massive change. It was a time when the world was in turmoil as the First World War was raging overseas and the United States was stepping onto the global stage, while at home the nation was rapidly modernizing. The Lincoln cent had only been introduced 8 years earlier in 1909. To celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who guided the country through its darkest days of the Civil War. The coin's designer Victor David Brenner created a masterpiece that captured Lincoln's noble face on the obverse and paired it with 2 graceful wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural strength and unity. The design was simple yet powerful, a fitting tribute to one of the most respected figures in American history. By 1917 the coin had already become a favorite among Americans. Its copper shine and elegant wheat design made it stand out from earlier 1-cent coins, which often featured abstract symbols rather than real people. What makes the 1917 edition so fascinating is the historical context behind it. It was minted during wartime when copper was becoming increasingly valuable, and the United States Mint worked tirelessly to produce millions of these coins for circulation in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco each Mint produced slightly different variations, and the coins from San Francisco especially. Those bearing the S Mint mark are among the most sought after by collectors today. When you look closely at the obverse of this coin, you'll see Lincoln's familiar portrait facing right, surrounded by the inscriptions "I and God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1917 to the right. The reverse side features the famous wheat ears encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the phrase "E pluribus unum" at the top. Every detail of this coin reflects the craftsmanship and pride of early 20th century American minting, and though it was mass-produced, very few examples have survived in exceptional condition, making them prized possessions for collectors. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1917 Lincoln wheat penny lies in its rarity and condition. While millions were minted, most were used heavily in daily transactions during the early 1900s and have since lost their sharp details or original luster. Years of circulation, oxidation, and handling have taken their toll. However, a few lucky examples have managed to survive in pristine uncirculated condition with that deep red copper glow still intact. These are the coins that command extraordinary value in the collector's market. The color grading of a Lincoln wheat penny can dramatically influence its worth. Coins labeled as red by grading agencies are far rarer and more desirable than those categorized as brown or red-brown, because that bright fiery copper hue shows that the coin has been preserved almost exactly as it was the day it left the mint. But there's another reason the 1917 penny stands out. It's also known among collectors for its famous double die obverse error, which makes certain versions incredibly rare. This error occurs when the coin's die strikes the design twice, slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling in the date and inscriptions such as "I and God We Trust" or "Liberty." This tiny mistake during the minting process transformed ordinary coins into highly sought after treasures among numismatists and collectors. The doubling on these coins can often be seen even without magnification, and it adds a layer of mystery and excitement that makes the 1917 penny even more fascinating. Every time such a coin appears at auction, it attracts massive attention from serious collectors eager to own a piece of numismatic history. The hunt for a 1917 Lincoln wheat penny in top condition or with an error like the double die has thrilled collectors for decades. Imagine finding one tucked away in an old collection or passed down from a grandparent. The feeling of uncovering such a rare gem is like stepping back into history, holding a coin that has witnessed the world change from the horse and carriage era to the age of technology. It's a reminder of how even the smallest pieces of copper can carry immense historical and sentimental weight. Coin collectors know that every mark, every color change, and every tiny imperfection tells a story, and the 1917 penny is no exception. The market value for these coins has seen incredible growth over the years, and high-grade specimens graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC often achieve jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Collectors are drawn not only to the coin's rarity but to the history it represents. Each coin serves as a tangible piece of America's past, a token from a time when Abraham Lincoln's image symbolized unity, perseverance, and freedom. Owning one feels like holding a small piece of that enduring legacy. So if you happen to come across a 1917 Lincoln wheat penny, whether in an old coin jar, a collection passed down through generations, or tucked inside a forgotten album, take a good look, examine it under bright light, and pay attention to the color, the strike, and any doubling on the lettering or date. If it shines with that bright original red copper tone and shows sharp details without scratches or heavy wear, you might be in possession of something truly remarkable. Even more so if it features that famous double die error, because such coins are incredibly scarce and command astonishing prices in today's market. And now for the most thrilling moment, the true revelation of value. If you are one of the fortunate collectors to own a United States of America 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1917 in absolutely pristine condition or featuring a rare minting error, your coin could be worth an incredible $197,000. Yes, you heard that right, $197,000 for a single penny that stands as a symbol of history, artistry, and rarity in the world of numismatics. So keep your eyes open, because the next time you come across an old Lincoln wheat penny, it might not just be spare change, it might be your ticket to an unbelievable treasure waiting to be discovered.